Hello there, scholars. We're going to be reading an article right now called Price Tag for the American Dream, $130,000 a year. What it costs to live the American Dream. This graphic right here tells me that it's going to show us the estimated annual cost for an average family of four. So what this organization has done, this is USA Today, a newspaper company, is they've said, hey, if a family of four is going to live the American dream, how much is it going to cost? And they added up all those costs. You can see here groceries, car expenses, medical expenses, education expenses, apparel, utilities like your gas and electric bill. They added up all those costs, and then the American Dream says that you would go on a family vacation, you would have lots of different kinds of entertainment, you might go to restaurants, you might pay for cable. So in an American Dream, your extras would cost you about $17,000. And then for taxes and savings are going to cost you about $54,857. So they totaled that all up and they said, okay, the total income needed to live the American dream is $130,357 each year. That's a lot of money. So we're going to read this article by USA Today and see how they figured up what it costs to live the American dream. So we'll just start off here in the first paragraph. No idea is more central to Americans' outlook than the American dream. The belief that with hard work and the freedom to pursue your destiny, you can achieve success and provide better opportunities for your children. So there the authors are just saying this is what the American dream is. If you work hard, you can be successful and help your children out. Historian John Truslow Adams, who coined the term, called it the greatest contribution we have made to the thought and welfare of the world. It has inspired millions of people from every corner of the globe to come here in search of liberty and opportunity. But the financial crisis, housing bust, and Great Recession have caused more of us to worry that the American dream is out of reach. So here the authors are saying that the American dream is what makes many people want to come to America. But in recent years, there have been problems with banks, problems with businesses. There have not been as many jobs in America. And so the authors are saying a lot of people worry now that the American dream isn't possible. For the vast majority of Americans, there is a sense that achieving the American dream is becoming more difficult, wrote Mark Robert Rank, Thomas A. Herschel, and Kirk A. Foster in a new book. And then in this next section, these authors are going to talk about their new book, Chasing the American Dream. Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz, in announcing a new policy to provide employees with a college education, declared, "In the last few years, we have seen the fracturing or the breaking of the American dream." In fact, 3/4 of Americans polled by the Brookings Institution in 2008 said the dream was harder to attain. They're right to worry. An analysis by USA Today shows that living the American dream would cost the average family of four about $130,000 a year. Only 16 million U.S. households, around 1 in 8, earned that much in 2013, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. So this means that not as many people in America are living the American dream, by the way that USA Today explains it. In an interview, co-author Thomas Herschel, a professor at Cornell University, stressed that for dozens of people they surveyed and interviewed, the American dream was not about becoming one of the 1%. And when he says 1%, that's like the really, really, really rich people. It's not about getting rich and making a lot of money. It's about security, he said. It's also as much about hope for the next generation as it is about the success of this one. They want to feel that their children are going to have a better life than they do, said Herschel. In their book, the authors write that besides economic security, the American dream includes finding and pursuing a rewarding career, leading a healthy and personally fulfilling life, and being able to retire in comfort. With that in mind, USA Today added up the estimated cost of living the American dream. And here we're just going to see how they figured up how much it costs to live the American dream. In their first bullet point, they said that home ownership is central to the American dream. So we took the median price of a new home, $275,000, subtracted a 10% down payment, then projected the annual cost of a 30-year mortgage at 4% interest rate. We also added annual maintenance cost of 1% of the purchase price. Total, $17,062 a year. So that's just saying that owning your own home would cost you about $17,000 a year. Second bullet point. We used the U.S. Department of Agriculture's April 2014 figure of $12,659 for a moderate cost grocery plan for a family of 4. So if you're buying groceries for 4 people in a family, it's going to cost about $12,659. In May, AAA estimated it would cost $11,039 a year to own one 4-wheel drive sports utility vehicle. The Milliman Medical Index pegged annual health insurance premiums and out-of-pocket medical expenses at $9,144. We use various estimates for the cost of restaurants and entertainment, one family summer vacation, clothing, utilities, cable or satellite, internet and cell phone, and miscellaneous expenses. See table. So here, they're just explaining to us how they got this amount of money. Total federal, state, and local taxes were pegged at 30% for households at this income level based on a model developed for Citizens for Tax Justice. USA Today calculated current educational expenses for 2 children at $4,000 a year and college savings, all of it pre-tax, we assumed, at $2,500 per year per child based on various rules of thumb. Finally, the maximum annual pre-tax contribution to a retirement plan for people under 50 is $17,500. That's slightly less than 15% of this American Dream household's annual earnings, in line with financial planners' recommendations. So there they're just saying that you need to save up about $17,500 to retire. Total, $130,357. It sounds like a lot. And it is, in a country where the median household income is about $51,000. Add one more child and another vehicle, and you could easily reach $150,000. So here the sentence that's important is this one. The median household income is about $51,000. That just means that that's about the middle of what all Americans make. So you can see there's a big difference between the middle point of most people making about $51,000, and then the total needed to live the American dream is a lot bigger than that, right? It's $130,000. There are big regional variations too. It costs a lot less to live the American dream in, say, Indianapolis or Tulsa than it does in metro areas like New York and San Francisco, where housing prices and taxes are sky high. Washington, D.C. is really expensive too. And many people achieve the dream on much less. Some immigrants, for example, have extended families and other support systems to help bear the burden. Nonetheless, it's clear that though the American dream is still alive, fewer and fewer of us can afford to live it.